Hello everybody, and welcome to That Booty, the channel where we approach spirituality with curiosity and discernment. And today, I would like to take the opportunity to talk about something that's been on my mind quite a bit recently. As we know, there are a lot of shifts occurring in the collective consciousness and our everyday lives. And we are faced with a lot of information and opinions. Because there are many things happening, and things that tend to fuel passions one way or another, there also has been a trend of people becoming a little bit more divided and falling into separation consciousness. But a lot of what I see going on is people with good hearts and good intentions falling into illusion, and it may not be in the way that you think. So one might ask oneself, how do I evolve beyond illusion? Like I said, we're living in a period of time, a period in history, where endless amounts of information is just readily available. We can do a quick Google search and find just about anything. However, not everything is true. Not everything is reliable. And even more important, not everything is going to serve you in this moment. For example, with the coronavirus, people some people have chosen to become a little bit obsessive over the statistics, the numbers, what they should and shouldn't be doing, what other people should and shouldn't be doing. And while caution has its place, fixating over these facts does nothing but deteriorate the mental and emotional health of the person clinging to those facts, to those numbers. Now, one might argue that being well informed is being well armed. And while that may be true, in some cases, your energy is your most valuable resource. And by dumping all of your energy into a certain belief or a certain fear, a certain worry or concern, you are giving away your power. You might think that you're doing something good or productive, but really what you're doing is depleting your energy levels so that you can fixate on something that is largely outside of your control. So why do we cling to the right and wrong in these situations? Why do we cling to what we feel is correct, what we feel the facts are? Even if they are actually facts. And the line has been blurred, and that's why I'm speaking this way. People are having trouble discerning fact from opinion. But let's just say there's a fact, the fact that the sky is blue or appears to be blue to us, right? Someone else says, no, it's purple. Would your reaction be to get angry at the person who says the sky is purple? Or would you let it go knowing that in your experience, the sky is blue, and that is a fact that has always served you? I see a lot of people engaging in conflict because they feel the need to defend what their truth is, or the truth is. Everyone thinks their truth is the truth. And we could talk about facts all day long, but we're not going to, because that's not what matters here. The illusion is that being right makes any difference in your life when it comes to these things. Being right does not make you a better person. Being right does not get you further ahead. Knowing facts doesn't necessarily mean that you've got a greater advantage against the rest of humanity. However, it's not a bad thing to know, to explore, to discover, to develop opinions and convictions and beliefs. We begin to give our power away when the person who disagrees with us can lower our vibration and entice us into conflict. If we fixate over facts or history, we're missing the opportunity for growth in the present moment. You can't go back in time and change what happened. You can't go into someone else's mind and change their perception. But you can influence the moment by how you choose to live it. And if you choose to deposit all of your energy into these conflicts, defending something that you know to be right or that you feel confident in, or even by choosing not to engage in something that you know doesn't serve you. You might not be that well informed on a certain topic, and you might be fine with that, and you don't want to engage in that back and forth. If you allow yourself to be a pawn for people seeking conflict, then you are losing moments where your energy could have been directed towards good, towards wholeness, towards self-love and fulfillment. Because when you give yourself away to anger and frustration, you tend to hold yourself in that energy. And if you hold yourself in that energy, you're giving away your power and your ability to create productively. You're losing touch with your innermost self, and it becomes more difficult to hear your inner guidance and discern what next steps are best for you on your soul's path. And a lot of what has happened while we have all this information, we've actually gotten a little bit more segmented as human beings. We kind of have attached to the people who we feel align with our values and see things the way that we see them, so that we can continue moving forward without being challenged to grow. And so when that happens, it's easy to look at the opposition, the people with a different viewpoint, and say, ooh, you're wrong, let's engage in conflict. And that just brings everybody down. So while it's healthy to have your opinions and it's healthy to discuss different viewpoints, many of us have fallen into the us or them mentality and taken on the bad habit of persecuting those who don't necessarily align with our values, at least on the surface. We develop a superiority complex, a moral superiority complex. And while we sit atop our high horse, you know, kicking people down, we may not realize that we're missing opportunities to bring people up with us. By engaging in conflict, pointing the finger, adopting a holier than thou attitude, you're being counterproductive. If you align with your values and you remain in that state of alignment, you don't need to prove anything to anybody. You don't need to show others that you're a good person, because you'll know that because you're living in accordance with your morals and you're listening to your intuition. You're allowing yourself to be guided in a positive direction. If somebody challenges that and your reaction is anger, then you're stepping into ego and you're allowing your vibration to be lowered. And in that low vibration, only conflict can exist. And within conflict, you can't have, you can't sustain conflict of that sort and expect growth. So how do we evolve beyond the illusion of us being right and justified? The illusion that leads many of us to anger and contempt. How do we evolve beyond that very human part of us that says, I know what's right, and so you're wrong? Allow the facts, allow the history, allow the arguments to fall away just for a moment if somebody tries to engage in this type of conflict with you. And consider only what is happening in the present time and how you can build on that. You can ask yourself questions like, what will serve me from this moment forward? What actions will serve me and possibly help those around me? And if you can align with your moral compass, if you can align with the calling of your soul, you won't need to explain that. You won't need to justify or argue it. Your only duty is to live in accordance with your soul's calling. And people have a unique ability to attune to that energy, to the energy of somebody who is aligned with their soul's purpose. If you truly live in the present and release your need to be justified, you'll begin to see little by little the ways in which we can improve our lives and the lives we touch. And if enough people do that, it'll improve the lives of all. It's my sincere prayer that we're all able to evolve beyond illusion and live our best lives to the fullest in every moment. I'm thankful that you joined me for this video, and I pray that your mind and heart remain clear no matter what is happening on the outside. Thank you again for joining me. Namaste.